Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the tree is so delightful. We've got no place to go, so let it bow, let it bow, let it bow. Hey everybody, it's Fancraft. Bo here. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. As you can see, we got some holiday festivities going on. I wanted to show off, as well as kind of give just a general update from here on Fancraft. So for Thanksgiving, I thought it'd be fun to lay out a table of feasty goodness for all of the Fancrafters to come and get a bite, and then also drop off some food and take some food as needed. And yeah, just a little fun, happy holidays to the Fancrafters. But honestly, this is nothing. This is nothing compared to the hard work that Will and the rest of the gang have done. As you can see, there is a giant tree all lit up here in the Marvel District for all of the Fancrafters. And not only that, but underneath this beautiful, glowing, lit up tree, hung with care, are stockings, or well, rather shulkers, in hopes that St. Nicholas will soon be there. Now, people have already been like dropping off gifts left and right, and as you can see, the goodies are here. I don't even know. I don't know yet what I'm going to be able to add. We're going to have to kind of look around and see what all we can find, but we are definitely going to be hooking up the Fancrafters with some Christmas goodies here today. But first, we need to get some sleep. There has been a lot of things going on here on Fancraft. Yeah, lot of great updates. For one thing, we have been working to help support the Legends of Zelda big temple build over here. As you can see, Fox has been hard at work laying out this incredible design. I cannot wait to see what it looks like when it's all said and done. This thing is massive. Now, my big contribution was laying the groundwork, literally the groundwork. We essentially built a hill, and as you can see, well, you know, it's not done, but it was enough to get him started, and I feel fairly confident about that. To be honest, I ran out of dirt, but it looks like someone has gone ahead and lit things up underneath, but not nearly enough. As you can see, you can actually get access to it with these waterfalls. I thought about just completely walling it off, but I don't know. I thought it might be kind of cool to leave it open a little bit just in case we wanted to do anything underneath in the future, or at least make kind of a fun waterway to the other side. But speaking of waterways, the big thing that's been going on is people have been hard at work on the Pirate District. Now, as you may recall, last episode we did announce that this whole area that is currently, filled with our Thanksgiving goodness, this is all going to be the Nintendo District, and it's going to be great. And I personally have already bought some land and have a fun project in mind. But I've been so very eager to focus on the other new district, which of course is the Pirate District. Now, in the spirit, I feel like we can only really access this by boat. Like that makes sense, right? Now, it is a little bit of a hike when you do it this way because you have to go around. Oops, you have to go around this peninsula over here, the back of the Sanctum Sanctorum, around Avengers Tower. Yeah, I've actually thought about possibly making myself a little shortcut through the Marvel District, maybe like creating a sewer system. I don't know. I don't know if it would work or if we have enough land to be able to make that work, but we'll see. Because I think it would be kind of cool to have, even from like the main area. Oh, look at that, the Christmas tree. Even from the main area, having a way to kind of like access the sewer system and then unleash yourself by boat into, there it is, ladies and gentlemen, the beginning of the Pirate District. Now, I will go ahead and say that this epic build right here is not me in the slightest. Night Valen has been working on building the Black Pearl, and as you can see, it's not fully done, so maybe I'm going to get in trouble for even showcasing this right now, because I know he is going to want to showcase that majorly, and I am going to want to also visit it and crawl all through it and discover it and all that kind of good stuff. It's rough, because right next to his build, this little Skull Island, yeah, that's me. That's me. That's my ship. That's his ship. Mine, his. There's no comparison, okay? There's no comparison whatsoever. That like it's pretty. Oh man, every single time I think I got something awesome, Knight always upstages me. But he's not the only one, because Doc has also been hard at work over here. He's created, like, Doc and I actually have been of the same mind, which is to have a boat and then also kind of have like a setting around it. Although his setting in particular is far more cool and elaborate than mine is. As you can see, you've got kind of like this little fishing area down here. You've got the dogs. I'm not going to open up any doors, and I'll explain why in just a moment. Oops. There's a loading port here on the other side. A lot of little details. It's a cool design. Very cool design. And then, of course, his ship right in the middle. Ours border right next to each other, and fortunately, it fits perfectly, and it actually adds, I think, overall to the visual aesthetic. You've got his really cool detailed build, and my, I don't know. I mean, it's not the best. I'll go ahead and admit this. It's not my best work. It's not my best work, but this is Skull Island. Or maybe port, technically. This is not an island. But as you can see, we've got ourselves a volcano. It is an active volcano. We've got a skull right up there at the top. It is on a little bit of a timer as it relates to the lava that flows down. Theoretically, when the sun goes down, it'll either start or stop. It's been a bit sporadic, so I need to figure out why my redstone isn't working the way that it needs to. But as you can see, we have got this whole kind of area right here with our little pirate ship. Now, I decided very specifically to roll up the sails for this design because I really love what Knight has done with his ship. And since he's got the wind blowing that way, I've decided to keep that same motif going. So as you can see, up top, my flag is blowing in the same direction as his wind. I've got my sails all rolled up because, of course, they would end up blowing the ship in the wrong direction. And we're docked anyway. It makes no sense for them to actually be down. But it's pretty good. I think for being like a little tiny thing, it's not too bad. I've got 2 cannons right here. Now, it's a 4-cannon ship, and so we've moved the other 2 cannons to another location. I'll show you that in a second. So as you can see over here, we've got the quarters, kind of these little, not really captain quarters, but just like the only quarters on this tiny ship that's really only made for like 1, 2, possibly even 3 people. And yeah, so back here we've got a little bit of a map table. In what I want to do is I actually want to put an X right here because I want there to be a little bit of a narrative going on with our build. And that is that, you know, these pirates have come through. Maybe they've been through a bit of a rough time. As you can see, some of their cargo is over the side and it is burning on fire. So who knows? Maybe they just came from battle and they're rushing in to Skull Island to port to find a buried treasure. And if we follow these tracks in the sand, you will see that sure enough, they have uncovered the buried treasure. Now, with this other pirate, much larger pirate ship on its way, they've brought out their cannons and they are, boom, firing their cannonballs, flying in the direction of the ship that is coming to absolutely decimate them. Now, for me personally, I am a huge fan of the game Sea of Thieves. I was actually in the top percentile of players when that game first came out many years ago, and I absolutely love it. Fans of that game may notice that I took a lot of inspiration for this particular ship design from Sea of Thieves, the entire layout, in fact. And I think it looks good as a little homage there. And so, anyway, there's a little bit of that's kind of going on in this particular build. But anyway, as I was saying, yes, we have got an awesome game that's going to be going on with the Pirate District. The way it works is that every single build, once the game begins, will be given a treasure. That treasure is to be hidden on, or rather within the build. And the goal of all of us is to capture each other's treasure, put them inside our treasure chest, and basically you want to kind of get all of the treasures and maintain them for as long as you possibly can. This is the game. It's not an over serious game. We're just going to have some fun with it, that sort of thing. It's not going to be too crazy, but there is going to be PvP involved. The idea is that, let's say that Knight, right? When Knight was coming over here and he was searching my build looking for the treasure. Well, while he's on my island, or even on my ship, I can take him out, right? Boom, we go full on PvP mode. If he leaves my island, I can't PvP him anymore. But if he takes my treasure and goes to his ship, I can go and PvP him on his ship. That's the way that we're kind of doing this. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, I've got a bit of a strategy, and I'm not going to overshare. I should say that because I know the Fancrafters are watching and I'm not trying to give away all my secrets. But I do want to kind of showcase what my strategy is, and that is to overwhelm with options. So, for example, let's just say, like, you know, right here. let's say I wanted to hide my treasure in this barrel right here, this smoking barrel right here. Well, if you open it, nope, no treasure, right? That's not where it is. But that could be one of the locations. That would be all right. Basically, you can hide your treasure inside any kind of chest or barrel or anything like that that's part of your design. The main rule is that it has to be accessible, and it cannot be something that you actually have to like dig up in order to find. This right here, this would not be okay. So as long as it's accessible and you don't break blocks, then you should be okay. Now, the treasures have not yet been given out to the Fancrafters. I'll have to hit them up on Discord once everybody's build is complete and once everybody that wants to play is in the game. But as I mentioned, my whole thing is I'm going to overwhelm people with options. Inside our volcano, you will find a little bit of a, I wouldn't necessarily say a parkour situation because frankly, I don't really know how to make parkour. I want to try to figure that out, but I don't. But yes, as you kind of climb to the top, you'll find various chest options throughout. And I'm actually hoping to incorporate a couple of little redstone traps along the way. So it's not going to be super easy. Now, that hasn't occurred yet. Unfortunately, there's more time before we get to that place. Now, I need to get with the Fancrafters to see how they feel about this. But my mindset is once you're actually on the build, like, you need to be kind of ground-based. For example, let's just say if there was a crow's nest. I don't have one on my ship, but let's say I had one on my ship. I would need, if I was going to have a chest up there, I would need to have like a ladder going up to it as opposed to somebody using their wings. So that's another kind of rule that we're going to have to incorporate into this game. One cool little feature of this build that I'm really proud of is, as you can see on the kind of the side of the volcano is the back of a ship. The idea is that this kind of whole outpost was maybe created by some pirates that maybe shipwrecked a long time ago on here, and they tore apart their ship and they used it to build up these barriers, and they took the back of it and they strapped it on the back of the mountain. And who knows, maybe back then Skull Island wasn't actually a volcano. Maybe it was just a Skull Island, but perhaps they did something they weren't supposed to. Kind of much like the Lord of the Rings, maybe they dug too deep and erupted into this volcano. But if you crawl around the back, this little bridge that kind of brings you in here, and uh-oh, there's a chest. Don't tell anyone. But I like this tactic. Oh, I do want to also get like a skeleton or something and like put it in this little like cage right here. Might get a villager. I don't know. I think it'd be pretty cool. I'm very proud of how this build turned out. And one of the things I've enjoyed about making it is that I've kind of made it offline. Like I haven't been focused too much on, you know, getting the build right and then coming in and building it. I've done all of this in survival without any planning. And to be honest, yeah, it probably shows. It probably shows that this is a build that had no planning whatsoever. I'll probably do some different things to the volcano to try to make it look a little bit better. I mean, it just kind of is what it is. It's a very tall volcano, but I wanted there to, yeah, it's not great. It's not great. Maybe I might put something off to the side here. I mean, like the goal is to keep on building. In fact, if you go around the side here, you can actually see that the perimeter comes about to right here. And then if you go off, it actually has a little hidden area right here. Oh, there's a chest that is blocked off for the moment. And that is because this is going to be an area that is going to be accessible in the future and not quite yet. This will be great when we get there. But my guess is I won't be done with that area at the beginning of the game, and that's okay. I like the idea of kind of adding on to it, especially given my tactic of overwhelming with options. I feel like as the game goes on, especially after my treasure gets found out, I will need to increase the options. So that's my goal. We'll see how it all turns out. But with the Pirate District looking epic and awesome, and I'm so proud of how it's all turning out, I need to turn my attention back to getting things holiday ready so that we can get our Christmas gifts together for the Fancrafters. And I think I do have a little bit of something I can give. I've got quite a few records I've collected along, kind of in the background. And so maybe this is the perfect time to give these as gifts. Kind of a good one-of-a-kind item. I like that. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Da 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 do da 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 do 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 do. Okay, admittedly, I ran out of discs, so I'm giving Jason and Belle zombie heads, but I hope they like that. I hope they like that. But yeah, I think this worked out pretty well. I got everybody. Yeah, I got Foxy. Okay, good. My goodness, I love this. What a great Christmas tree. This is awesome. And word on the street is this is actually being planted in what will eventually be a cool central city park that'll be coming to the Marvel District, put on, I believe, by Doc. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he does with this space, which is really nice because it's right across from the web facility. And my goodness, this lot has been vacant for far too long. So I'm glad that someone's finally coming in and doing something with it. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We've got some fun things that are going on here from Fancraft. Now, I know if you've been following my channel that you know that I've been making some different kind of videos. A lot of what the TV Talk YouTube channel is going to become is more in line with what you've seen recently. It's the TV Talk channel, and it was started in connection with a podcast that was called TV Talk. Well, it was called Flash TV Talk back then, but regardless, either way, it's going to kind of go back to the primary purpose that the channel exists for, which is videos about various television shows, some different kind of deep thoughts, maybe some very shallow thoughts around those television shows. And if you're interested, I encourage you to check those out. But I'm not going to leave Fancraft hanging, okay? Like Fancraft, there will still continue to be Fancraft updates. This server we've worked so very hard on and has still got so much more potential on where it's going and where it can go. But instead of weekly updates, it'll probably next year be more of a monthly update, at least from me. Now, the other Fancrafters, I don't know what their plans are, and I would definitely encourage them to continue to make content. But the videos from my perspective, like I said, are probably going to be more in line with once a month, at least for the foreseeable future. Now, the exciting thing is that means there's going to be a lot more that's going to happen. And I guarantee when the first time that we get this game going, once I start doing some crawling around through the Black Pearl and also with Doc's build over here, yeah, that'll definitely be captured. So stay tuned for all of that goodness. That is, though, going to do it for me for today. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas to all of you who are tuning in. Thank you so much for doing so. Thank you for those of you who've been patiently waiting for the next Fancraft update. Looking forward to all the great stuff to come in the future and in the new year. Until next time, goodbye.